Alright, back to another album review. It's been months since the last time I reviewed anything that Metallica worked on, and today's review is on Lulu. It's actually a collaboration between Metallica and Lou Reed. Yeah, you can actually see Lou Reed with the guys from Metallica on the back. Now, the set actually comes with two books. Now, the white book actually has the CDs, the lyrics, and the credits. And the black book has photos of Lou Reed with Metallica. Before I go into detail about this album, I need to mention that Metallica mentioned on their website, their web store, that this album was being discontinued, and that it was on clearance for only $12. I initially didn't want to buy this album, but I was afraid of missing out and didn't want to deal with any scalpers. In the end, I said fuck it, decided to buy it. This album came in a big ass box, and my copy of the Metallica Blacklist is in the same package. More on that in a future review. Anyways, I mentioned that this was a collaboration between Lou Reed and Metallica. Now, both artists performed together at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's 25th anniversary concert in 2009, which led to them collaborating on an album. The album is based on the Lulu plays by Frank Wedekind. The songs consist of spoken word by Lou Reed combined with instrumentals by Metallica. James Hetfield performs backing vocals. Lou Reed also performed acoustic guitar in the Continuum. The album also has additional musicians. Sarth Callahan on electronics. Jenny Scheinman on violin, viola, and string arrangements. Megan Gold on violin. Ron Lawrence on viola. And Marika Hughes on cello. There are other musicians involved, but we'll get back to this. The album was recorded by Greg Feidelman and Mike Gillies at the Metallica HQ in San Rafael, California, between April and June of 2011. It was produced by Lou Reed, Metallica, Greg Feidelman, and Hal Wilner. Remember when I reviewed Hardwired to Self-Destruct and said that was the first time Metallica worked with Greg as a producer? Well, it turns out I was wrong. This was actually the first time he worked with them as a producer. Greg also mixed the album at Sunset Sound in Los Angeles, and Jeff Neal helped him out. Lindsay Chase was responsible for the mix coordination. The album was engineered by Jim Monty, Dan Monty, Sarah Lynn Killian, and Kent Mack. Vlad O'Malley mastered the album at Masterdisc in New York. The album was released on Halloween of 2011 on Vertigo Records. Surprisingly, it was still being produced up until this year. I should mention that this album ventures into avant-garde metal, which is an interesting direction. You know that Metallica tried doing something more experimental with Saint Anger, though that didn't work out so well. With Lulu, they were being more experimental by venturing into avant-garde metal. They also touched upon alternative metal, doom metal to an extent. With that out of the way, let's talk about the songs, and we'll start with Disc 1. The intro to this album is Brandenburg Gate. Just listening to this track, you can clearly tell that's mostly spoken word with instrumentals by Metallica. The next track is The View, which was released as a single on September 27th, 2011. This was the only single from the album. A music video was made, and I'm including a link in the description. After that is Pumping Blood. The title is definitely not a misnomer because blood is mentioned frequently in the lyrics. The following track is Mistress Dread. Judging by the lyrics, it sounds like this is supposed to be a love song despite it being mostly spoken word. What comes next is Iced Honey. The lyrics sound like they're about not being allowed to do certain things. The finale of Disc 1 is Cheat on Me. The lyrics sound like they're about questioning a certain person why they would cheat on them. The intro to Disc 2 is Frustration. This track features Ulrich Mace on the cello. The track that comes next is Little Dog. Ulrich Mace plays the cello on this track as well. The track that comes after that is Dragon. The word fuck is used twice on this track. The finale of this album is Junior Dad. This track features Jessica Troy on the viola and Rob Wasserman on the electric upright bass. When researching this album, I read that reviews from the critics were very mixed. Some really liked it, some hated it, and others say it was in the middle. Besides, the album has a 45 on Metacritic, which is even lower than what Saint Anger has. The album peaked at number 36 on the Billboard 200, which is lower than most of the other material from Metallica. And has since sold over 280,000 copies. That may seem like a lot, but that's nothing compared to previous material from the band. I read online that some Metallica fans made death threats towards Lou Reed, which is crossing the line because he was just doing his job. Metallica responded to the criticism. Lars Ulrich said that Lou Reed's poetry is, quote, not for everyone. James Hetfield roasted the assholes making those death threats by joking about them typing from their mother's basements, which wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. Robert Trujillo said that everyone involved with this album actually enjoyed making it, regardless of everyone's opinions. Now for my thoughts. Personally, I think this album is below average. Yes, I do find it to be worse than Saint Anger. The fact that Metallica decided to collaborate with Lou Reed is quite interesting because I don't think anyone expected those guys to collaborate on an album. If you ask me, those shitheads who were making those death threats against Lou Reed were crossing the line. Seriously, those people should have been Baker acted and banned from using the internet for the rest of their lives. The saddest thing about this album is that it was the very last album that Lou Reed ever worked on because he sadly passed away in 2013 at the age of 71. I might check out more material from him at some point. Whether or not you want to check out this album is up to you. You can't get a new copy from Metallica's website anymore because production ceased, and the album is sold out. You should be able to find a copy online. Just make sure you avoid the Scalpers. Now's the part where I question you. Have you listened to Lulu? If so, what do you think about it? What's your favorite song from it? Do you think it was a good idea for Lou Reed to collaborate with Metallica? What do you think could have been done to improve this album? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to press the notification bell to notify future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video.